Hey, Dani K, coming to you from Dani K Wellness. Rich Spicer, we're back. 4, right? 4. All right, so we left off with acupuncture, and Rich said that brought up a good question for him. So he wanted to know.
I want to know.
Inquiring minds want to know what?
I want to know if acupuncture addresses only the symptoms, or does it really take care of the problem that's causing the pain as well?
Both.
Both.
It does both. So basically, like a lot of times when you go to a doctor, they have to figure out what it is. They need an x-ray, they need an MRI, they need a PET scan, whatever, you know what I mean? Like you poked and prod and all that crap, right?
Yeah.
So basically with, acupuncture, with my guy Luke that's here, he doesn't really need to know, obviously if there's no bone sticking out or whatever, but, if you're having, shoulder pain, you can't lift your shoulder up, he can figure out what the symptoms are, treat the symptoms, which then corrects the problem, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, so basically, if you have, let's just say, a knee problem, so if your knee is in alignment, so when you have, your dancer, your, construction, whatever, football player, whatever, and you're in a car accident, and you kind of, your knee hurts, so now it's a little bit out of alignment. Yeah. So what happens is he doesn't need to know that the ACL or this or that. He doesn't need an X-ray. So you have knee problem. He knows how to address knee problem issues. So first he will address it with the acupuncture needles, and then like in the past video that I did was that we said with the cupping and bleeding part. Then if that doesn't take care of it, then he'll cup and bleed that area and pull that bad blood stasis out. So your knee is out of alignment, so he puts those needles in and it puts it back into alignment. So that clears the pattern out. Mm-hmm. So, with chiropractic, and maybe not back in the day, maybe chiropractors, back then were better, different, now they're different, better, whatever. So not putting down any chiropractic care or treatment or anything like that, but the thing is, when you have a car accident, that happens. Like that point of injury, you know what I mean? Like that impact. Yeah. When a chiropractor, cracks, if they crack your back or whatever, they yank on something, it's kind of like an accident. It's kind of like an, like an impact kind of thing from a car accident. So, it's back in alignment, but because if they've, cracked your back, didn't clear out the problem. So what happens? It goes back. So what do you have to do? You have to go back to the chiropractor. And he cracks you back, right? Yeah. And then it slips back out. So what happens is, because you've had that for so long or whatever, those muscles have grown, strengthened around those twisted bones.
Out of place position.
Right. Yeah. So when you put it back in, those muscles are weak. Yeah. So they go back to where they're strong.
Right.
So when Luke puts those, or acupuncturist puts those needles in, it puts it back gently, so it clears out that pattern and, kind of releases the tension and the muscles and all that stuff so they can just go back naturally.
So then it has staying power.
Right. Yeah, and then he gives you, like with Luke here, he gives you, a 2-week supply of all natural Chinese herbs. Yeah. So that kind of helps prolong that. Right. Now, if it's a chronic thing, you might have to come back to him a couple of times to get to definitely clear that pattern.
That was my next question. Yeah. Will you have to always come back, or will it finally be the day, hey, it's not moving anymore, it's okay?
Yeah, I mean, if you have a frozen shoulder, you might have to come see him, a couple of times a month. Yeah. And then it's a couple of times, or a couple times a week, and then a couple times a month, and then once a month,
once every quarter,
and then then just maintenance. You know what I mean? So it depends on the injury, how chronic it is, and how bad it is. Right. Like with my knees, he did one treatment. I couldn't squat worth crap because of heavy lifting, dancing, spinning on my knee, break dancing, all that stuff. For me to squat down it just killed me. So I had to hold on and like kind of bend down and get something. He did a treatment on my knees, first time he was here, first treatment, and he's like, go ahead and squat down. And I was like, what? Yeah. So I did. And I was like squatting through the whole gym. Everybody's like looking at me like I'm nuts. But I was, because I couldn't believe, 10 years I couldn't squat.
Wow.
So one treatment, now it wasn't completely fixed, but I could squat and I didn't have pain. I could go upstairs without looking like a idiot, you know.
Do you wrap your knees when you squat? Because I always wrap.
Well, I don't like and there's another one. I don't like using wraps because if you have to wrap your knee so tight so it don't blow out, maybe you shouldn't lift that heavy. That's just my thought.
Yeah, I only used it, and I never had knee injury. I always use it as a preventative. That's
right. You know, and my thing
extra
is,
strength.
when you use, or most people, when they use wraps, if they're not in tune to their body, when they use wraps or like a lower back belt, you know, that kind of thing, if you're not in tune to your body and you don't know what hurts, you squat and not knowing how to hold your belly in, hold your abs in to keep your core tight,
keep
you know.
So
when I squat and if I'm not holding my abs in, or even if I am and I feel a little bit in my back, I know I'm back off. But if I don't know that because the belt's protecting and keeping me from being in pain, when I take that off and be like, oh my God, what happened to my back? You know what I mean? So I much rather would squat, feel it, and be like, you know what, I might need to lower the weights that day. Maybe not all the time, but just that day. With the knees, if I squat and everything's all, you know, kind of like a cortisone injection. You know what I mean? Like, guys get cortisone injections in their shoulders and stuff. Oh, I can do everything now. No,
but you can't.
It's just a Band-Aid on it. It's just numb, so you can't feel the injury. So you go and you're benching and stuff, and when the cortisone shot wears off,
it's like icing it up.
Then you're like, oh, my shoulder hurts. Oh my God. Well, you know, so I like, if you feel pain, back off. I mean, bad pain. If you you know, if you feel bad pain, back off, and you know you're going to do it properly, or you're going to figure out how to do it properly, or you ask me how to do it properly. And, you know, I feel pain in my knees, or I feel pain in my lower back when I do this, or I feel pain in my shoulder when I do that. Can you watch my form and see what I'm doing? You know, that kind of thing.
Well, pain is a signal. The body's signal that something's wrong. So we hope we don't have any.
No, well, you know, as we get older.
Just to kind of wrap it up, what are your most of your clients that come here ask for, and how can we help them?
Most of them do. They want to lose weight, and some women think that they need to lose weight, and they don't need to lose weight. It's the body fat muscle thing, you know, because somebody is, you know, like, they might be, I don't want to say skinny, but they might not, you know, have a lot of weight on them, but yet they feel like they're flabby here, or flabby there, or whatever. You know, so it's just a matter of transforming the fat to the muscle, you know, burning the fat, getting rid of the fat, and increasing your lean tissue. So, you know, it's not about, you know, you still might be the same weight, 120, 130, whatever, but you're not necessarily, according to your height and everything, you might not necessarily have to lose any weight, just lose body fat. And then you lose the body fat by increasing lean tissue. You increase lean tissue, lose body fat, and you may still be 130 pounds. And people say, well, how? Why? Well, because, you know, you've gained your muscle. You've lost your fat. You've gained your muscle, and it kind of equaled out to be the same weight, you know. But now you're firmer, tighter, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I want to encourage your members to take photos, because if you're serious about this and you've trained your brain and you're going for it, you've got the diet thing going. Dani set you up on a program. She set you up on a training program, and you're here on a regular basis, because now this is a lifestyle change. So this is something you do. I'm not saying you have to be here every day like a bodybuilder. I did it 7 days a week. Even on my off day was an ab day.
I do 5.
Yeah, even on my off day was an ab day. Or I did abs and cardio, because cardio was constant, and trying to keep that fat down or going. And my body fat was at 4.5% when I trained and was on stage. It was right around 4% and a little over. So that's not a whole lot of body fat. And I remember feeling chilled, even when it was the climate was not cool. I could feel the chill of it, because my body fat was.
Everybody makes fun of me because I get cold all the time. You know, because I don't have you have brown and white fat.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I don't have the fat that goes like this to make you warm.
So what I want to say is be sure to stay on your program. I encourage you to stay on your program that Dani has set up for you, both the nutritional and the training program, and however many days a week the training is, it is. The diet's every day. that part's every day. Let's just give you that cheat day, okay? Which is fine. It's okay. It's okay. You know where you're at, and if something's not working, ask her. Say, hey, look, you gave me this nutritional plan, but for some reason, it's just not. I'm just not losing as quickly as I hoped.
Them they have to keep me in tune. We don't want to get it a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks out.
Yep.
And then we have to backtrack and then correct it. So I always tell them, let me know right at that point. If you're tired of that food or you've gained a pound or whatever, let me know. We can figure out whether it is the nutrition or whether it might be the workout. Maybe you were on point with the nutrition, but you slacked in your workout.
Yeah, the two go together. You can't have one without the other. But I do want to mention this. One more thing. I'm Mr. Example. I like to give an example. I was doing some research from other bodybuilders, and I found out that for the guys that were competing, well, maybe you need to cut out some bread, not regular white. Nobody ate white bread, but we ate some whole wheat bread a little bit, and we found out that some bodybuilders, it caused the whole wheat, for some reason, had an adverse effect on them, and it caused a little bit of swelling and a little water retention. And so even a little thing like some whole wheat bread, which most people think are great to eat, can affect you. So a diet is a personal thing. Find out what works and what doesn't work.
And I have, my meal plan, I have an avoid list, and that's bread. Avoid, not ixnay. So here and there, reward yourself here and there with stuff, but bread, rice, milk, cheese, pasta, sugar, soda, red meat, alcohol. So bread is, whether it's wheat or not, bread is still that thing that could hold it here.
Right.
If you're eating it.
One of the things that I used to love to eat, though, I would do a little bit of rice, and I'd put raisins in it, rice and raisins.
Okay.
And the raisins give it a little bit of sweetness and make it more enjoyable to eat because it was so bland.
Yes.
And that's what I did for energy a lot of times before I went to the gym.
Okay.
So you live and learn.
Yeah.
Anyway, I encourage you to hang in there. I appreciate your time, Dani.
Thank you, sir,
for letting me come by and share with you a little bit. It's great seeing you again.
Good seeing you.
I love the gym.
I'm glad you're in this area now.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people here, and I wanted to come by and see Dani in the gym. And Justice, man, she can bark you out of this place if she doesn't know you. She doesn't know me, but she's being quiet right now, so I guess maybe she's comfortable. So I thank you again, and y'all hang in there and do a great job, and be diligent. Work at it. It takes time and effort, and you have to be sincere about it, and it will work.
And keyword, consistent.
Consistent.
Everything you do is consistent.
It's a lifestyle change.
Stay tuned, stay informed, stay motivated. Bye.